I'm delighted to see so many enthusiastic supporters, chapter leaders, and members here. Welcome to our guests, students, teachers, young professionals, NGO leaders, business professionals. This room is a snapshot of UNA USA. For the last day or so, our elected officials from the UN Association have been meeting here in New York, and I would ask them from around the country, and I asked them at this time to the members of our steering committee to stand up and be recognized. We want to thank them for their service to UNA USA and thank them for being here today. You could stand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an important moment in history. As we hold this event, leaders are facing some of the world's toughest problems. We just heard a few of them. Navigating the global economic recovery, Syria, the protests where freedom of expression, rule of law, and democracy face off, climate change and environmental sustainability, and a world where 7 billion people are trying to figure out how to share this planet. There's only one organization positioned to help us understand the impact and the challenges and to facilitate this conversation, and that's the United Nations. Let's look at some more of the challenges. Nearly 1 billion people are malnourished. 10 new cases of malaria happen every second. Every 60 seconds, a child in Africa dies of malaria. 8 million people die every year of hunger-related illnesses. And every 11 seconds, a child dies of hunger. 1 in 5 children around the world lack access to life-saving vaccines, and over 70 million children receive no education. Most of them are girls. While if we look at the other end of the spectrum, women perform 2/3 of the world's work, produce half of all food, but only earn 10% of the world's income. This just scratches the surface of how the UN grapples to advance humanity. But the UN is having an impact. The UN vaccinates 58% of the world's children, saving 2.5 million lives every year. The UN feeds over 90 million people in 73 countries. Thousands of tons of food are distributed in camps by the World Food Program and other aid organizations. It assists 36 million refugees fleeing war, famine, and persecution, and mobilizes more than $12 billion in humanitarian aid. The UN is hard at work every hour, every day, around the world. The UN's programs are some of the most economical strategies to meet the U.S. national security and diplomatic objectives. The UN and its family of agencies work to improve people's lives throughout the world with little fanfare or media attention in the U.S. The UN delivers on its mandate, the UN Charter, to ensure the safer and healthier world. It resolves conflicts, keeps the peace in some of the most dangerous places, and supports elections and new institutions to build new democracies. A recent poll showed that 85% of Americans believe the U.S. should be engaged with the UN. UNA sees this reflected in its membership. UNA is growing. We have more chapters, more members. College and university students are starting campus advocates programs around the country. Our Model UN program, Global Classrooms, is growing. More and more citizens are standing up and saying, I support the UN and I vote. A large majority of U.S. citizens understand how the UN is an asset to U.S. foreign policy. Yet the UN faces threats in the form of conspiracy theories swirling in the media about what it does or does not do. And more concerning are impending cuts by the U.S. Congress. UNA USA members and chapters play a key role in letting lawmakers in Washington, D.C. know how vital the UN is and that they should remain fully engaged with the United Nations. Through members of Congress, visits, calls to lawmakers, meetings, emails, and letters, UNA USA members give a voice to the UN on Capitol Hill. And most importantly, I encourage you to tell others of your passion for the UN and its impact around the world, especially your elected officials. In the coming weeks, UNA USA chapters here in New York and around the country will organize meetings with their members of Congress, and I encourage you to join them. We watch people around the world fight for the right to vote, the right to express themselves, the right to practice their religion. We have a responsibility to be active citizens and engaged supporters of the United Nations. We ask what you take today, what you learn today, and join us. Get your friends, your family, your neighbors, your classmates, even strangers involved in the UN. Participate in local chapter events and activities, and become a member of UNA USA. No matter your age, individuals come together like-minded to tell the story of the United Nations and the positive work it does and will do for generations to come. Everything you need to know about UNA USA can be found on our website, unausa.org. And we also obviously have chapter leaders and members here today you can talk to. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and you can access our online magazine, The Interdependent, which is the one-stop shop for UN news headlines and perspectives. We're fortunate in the United States not to urgently need the services and programs of the UN agencies. Unfortunately, that makes UNA USA's job very difficult. Citizens don't see the UN at work in their communities. It might seem distant or less urgent. I challenge you to talk to a new immigrant, a relocated refugee, or a first-generation citizen, and you will quickly hear in first person how the UN protected their community, delivered medicine to a relative, or provided food after a disaster. For more than 70 years, UNA USA has been a leader in helping amplify the UN's good work throughout the US. From Eleanor Roosevelt to you in the back row. Join us for the next 70 years. Be informed, be inspired, be engaged. There's never been a more exciting moment to be a part of UNA USA. There's lots of ways to be involved and to advance the work of the UN. Be bold in your commitment to the UN. Thank you for your time today and after today. This is just one moment. And we hope that you will enjoy the programming, the discussion, and the networking. I think at this time, we have a couple of minutes. We're going to let you take a few moments to do some networking right here with your friends and neighbors in your row. If you need to stretch, feel free to do that. And we're going to begin this next session in about 10 minutes. Thank you.